Seinfeld, yeah. All that stuff. The Office.
Yeah.
Just dumb stuff. You can pretty much tell what's going on by hearing.
Yes.
All right, we ready to go?
We're ready.
Let's get this party started. Welcome to the Elk Season Podcast, Season 2, Episode 18. We are the Chambers Brothers. My name is Harold.
I'm David.
And today on the Elk Season Podcast,
we got bears. In terms of, we got some bear stories, as usual.
Yeah, we do.
And an interesting one. It's not that, well, hold on. Don't want to oversell it. But we have some stories about...
No, let's oversell it. Your children could be next.
That's right. Grizzly bears in your yard in Montana. Coming up.
Yeah, there's video. So, yeah.
A female buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hear me out on this.
Big female buck.
A big female buck. So if a big female buck can actually exist in this world, so can a jackalope. Anyway, moving on.
Ooh.
Just
I
saying.
like that.
Just saying. Water. An interesting follow-up. We talked about water all year. We talk about it all the time.
Always, yeah.
But this one has to do with washouts.
Yeah.
I brought me Lucky Arrow here. I've got a knock here. We'll do a demonstration of a lit knock.
Is it a green light?
It is a green light.
Why'd you choose green? Are there red light? Are there different colored lights?
There's green, red, and orange, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I just chose green.
Hey.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right. It's lit up. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about what they can and can't do and
okay.
all that. Well,
and I sent you an interesting article on a magnetic device.
So we have some what do we say?
Legalese?
Well, it's legalese, but it's also, gear talk.
I am
right?
not a lawyer.
So
this
to follow
is not
up
legal advice.
Correct. Following up some gear talk, right? So something that was really exciting at first, and I was like, gotta go get it. I mean, I literally went straight to Amazon from your TikTok that you sent me, and then I got it to the reg book, and we'll talk about it. But when I was in the reg book, I found something else that I found
and I thought the same thing. I go, oh my gosh, I know what I'm thinking. I'm going to send this to David and see what he's thinking. So we'll see if we were thinking the same thing. We haven't talked about it yet. Yeah.
So live here today
on the Elk Season Podcast.
And so there's that and a little bit more. As always, we can just talk till the sun goes down and comes up again if we wanted to. So I have that much memory on my hard drive.
Yeah.
Our cameras, maybe not. But the audio, all night. But with that and a bit more.
Yes. That and what?
That and a bit more, because we always come up with
a bit more. I said bighorn. I'm like, whoa, we're talking bighorn? I don't remember that in the news.
Yeah. I don't either.
All I know is that it is 61 days until elk season.
Just basically 2 months.
61 days. It's a hiccup away. When we get to August, it feels like a year away because it's so hot, and I know it's going to cool down in September. But it's only 61 days away. Gear up. Start. Well, I'm doing a dry July. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did.
Doing a dry July. Going to try and lop off 10 to 15 more pounds, get under the 240 mark by elk season. That's sort of the goal. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to 240 by my birthday. So I've got basically 1 month.
Yeah.
And 9 pounds to go.
Okay. All right.
I've gotten down as low as 246.
I've gotten down to as low as 6 beers a week. I need to cut them out altogether.
Oh, no. I have like maybe 2-3 beers a week at this point. But.
Yeah, one a night. One a night is usually, and then some nights I'll have a margarita. So that's why it's only 6 beers a week.
Only,
yeah, it's only.
I didn't hear much.
Oh, son of a! But we'll see. Do you remember where we were? We were like, it's 61 days till elk season.
Yes.
Hold on. I don't think I'd clapped in before. So anyway, where were we?
61 days, just barely 2 months.
Right, we were talking about bears and how they're going to eat your children.
And there might be elk in the podcast today too. I don't remember seeing an advertisement for that.
I don't either. Where do you want to start?
Well, why don't we just talk about this arrow? So just get this out of the way.
You got it in your hands. You can't wait to talk about it.
Got it right here.
How do you turn it on? Why isn't it on? I thought it was a lit knock.
It is a lit knock.
Light it up.
The technology that I looked at, there was different versions out there, but I boiled down to this brand. I forget what the brand is, but I bought this at the DMB, and they also sell these at the Sportsman's Warehouse, but here locally it was $5 more at the Sportsman's than it was D&B.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I'll save $5 and I'll go to D&B.
Yeah.
Anyway, this turns on when you put it on the string.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is, it only has roughly 10 hours of life.
Yeah.
So this is going to die. You're going to have to buy more eventually. So that made me think.
Once you knock that arrow, the timer starts?
Yes, but you can turn it off.
Oh, okay.
So that's part of why I thought, well, maybe we should demonstrate this because it's kind of cool. So I have this toothpick here, and I'm actually going to see if this toothpick will turn it off because I have a screwdriver that I threw in my case, a small one.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure I have a device to turn it off. So if I chase down the arrow, I can not have it running all night. So anyway, if this is this is a toothpick here, I think, that actually you can see that. So I'm just going to pretend this is my string, and it just pushes it down.
Oh,
turns it on.
That's a pretty green.
Yeah.
That is a pretty green.
So, and they had different colors, but I was excited because I didn't need any of the adjustment plugs to load this in the arrow. Our shafts are just the right size for this. And I'm just super excited about that. But there's a little hole on the side here that allows you to just, and the toothpick is not going to work.
But just something like a paper clip maybe.
Yeah, good thick paper clip.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was just using the screwdriver.
Do you remember when we were out in Wisdom and I took one of those glow sticks and I taped it to an arrow and we shot it up in the air at night with the twins?
Yeah, I do kind of remember that.
Anyway.
So
yeah, it turns on and off right there. Awesome.
Anyway, so
lit nocks are now legal in the state of Idaho.
They are legal in the state of Idaho.
Let's talk about other laws here in the state of Idaho since we're on that subject.
Yeah.
Because I sent you a video this week of a pretty cool contraption. Because I like to video. I like to take the phones out. I just like to have video running.
I agree. I like to do that. I agree that you like to do it. I'm coming on board. I don't want to sound too much like a hypocrite because I know historically I've been like, are we hunting or are we filming?
No.
I didn't understand how to adjust to the changing world, and I get it now.
That's okay. You know what? I had these camouflage pockets, these camouflage shirts, and they had pockets up on the breast, and I cut a wedge out of those pockets so that my phone camera could poke out there. Just so you know, when you see my shirts like that, that's what I was trying.
All right.
Now the camera's in there. It's the phone's kind of heavy and it's like flopping around. If you buy a mount for a camera, it mounts to you. It's solid. It's pretty set.
Yeah.
But I sent you one that these guys are like, hey, film your hunts. Look at this magnetic piece. It just, you take your phone, you push record, you slap it right to your bow, it's recording.
Yeah, and this device actually connects to the balancer on your bow. So you unscrew the balancer, you put it on there, and it's just this little metal plate.
Okay, yeah.
So it's down below the arrow. It's not going to impede with the process.
Not going to impede anything.
And so it was I'm like, I totally saw it and I totally got it. So first thing I do after I go look for it on Amazon.
But at the same time, I knew.
There's something about it.
At the same time, I knew. I go, I don't think this is legal.
So I'm sad that they were selling it that way. Obviously, there's probably states that don't have that. And I'm hoping that Idaho will eventually open the door. Because I was thinking, what advantage does putting my phone on my bow like that give me? None.
None.
Because I still have to aim down the sight and all that stuff.
Yes.
And it's not. So so I would think that as the law is written here, archery equipment in the current manual for hunting regulations in Idaho for big game, I'm going to go down to where it has the lighted nocks because that's where it describes this clause.
Okay.
All right. So with any electronic, I need to read an intro. In any hunt, including general, any weapon seasons, and short range hunts, it's unlawful to pursue or kill big game animals with any electronic or tritium-powered device attached to an arrow, except lighted nocks, bolt, except lighted nocks, or bow, except hunters with a physical or visual disability may apply for a reasonable modification permit to use the crossbow or a device that holds a bow at partial or full draw. And it just talks more about the disability.
Okay. Read it again.
Everything again?
Yeah. Read the whole thing.
In any hunt, including general, any weapon seasons, and short range hunts.
Okay.
It is unlawful to pursue.
Okay.
Or kill big game animals. With any electronic or tritium powered device attached to an arrow, except lighted nocks, bolt, except lighted nocks, or bow, except hunters with a physical or visual disability can apply for their accommodations.
Yeah, it's real loose, isn't it?
It says or bow.
It does, but it also says pursue or kill. You're not using the electronics to pursue or kill, but there's electronics connected to your bow, and you are pursuing and attempting to kill. So so that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a loophole that says in the pursuit of or to use to aid to your advantage. Obviously, a camera or phone, it doesn't give you an advantage. It just films your hunt.
Yeah.
So you cannot have that attached to your bow. Not in Idaho. Not according to this. Not according to you. Not according to me.
Sorry. Yeah. Right? I'm just reading the law, and it seems like it's kind of like saying, with the exception of lighted nocks, don't do it.
Yeah. Right. Anything, any electronic device. It does say in the pursuit or in the act of killing, but I guess if you're pursuing it's an electronic device or tritium.
Whatever that is.
Well, yeah, that hasn't come back from, whatever planet it comes from.
Wasn't that one of those satellites they sent out?
It was ultimatium. That was it.
Oh.
No, that was unobtainium.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Unobtainium.
Stupid avatar. Unobtainium. Yeah. So, okay. So I have a solution. I have a solution for this, and I know I talked to you about it last year.
Okay.
Because I would love to have a camera all the way out there to see my arrows go.
Yeah.
Do you remember my solution?
No.
It is a phone holder on your fist.
Oh,
All you need is a couple of rings, and it holds your phone. Now, when you hold your bow, your fist is pointing toward where you're hunting.
So you need a magnetic holder that you just...
So either a magnetic glove, like a fingerless glove, or I have a buddy who has a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Tony, I'm talking to you. Print me something. I need 2 rings here, and it needs to either hold a GoPro or hold a phone.
And dude,
to get a prototype, I'm telling you, this could be sold to a lot of hunters.
Yeah.
I think this is a good idea because in a lot of states, you cannot have electronic devices attached to your bow, but there's nothing wrong with having something on your hand. So it's just like a watch.
Exactly.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's a good solve. I like it. Shouldn't have told the world that. Your $1 billion idea could buy me a Cybertruck.
Hey, I have another really great idea for my 3D printer guy. It is you know how you have those little magnetic things that slide onto your vents, right? A little magnetic thing that holds your phone and it slides onto your vents and it fits onto your vents. I want one of those that slides onto my vent, but it cools my Reese's. Right? It's like a cup holder, but with a gel. I can either put a drink in there and keep my drink cold in the summertime with the help of my air conditioner, or I can keep Reese's on a road trip from melting into a single gigantic sugary Reese's.
Sure.
Right? Anyways, just a little tiny refrigerator.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's good.
Did I tell you the technician, I'm done with my neurofeedback stuff, but my technician's wife did all of the media purchases for Shark Tank. She bought all the advertisements for a show called Shark Tank. You never heard of Shark Tank?
I know Shark Tank.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to understand this context here.
Media purchase?
What does that mean?
So media purchases it's a marketing term. I work for Shark Tank. I'm gonna buy this many commercials on TikTok, this many on Facebook. I'm gonna buy this many on NBC. I'm gonna buy this many on ESPN, and I'm gonna buy all the advertisements. That's what she does. She buys advertisements.
Okay.
For to promote Shark Tank. She does the media purchases for Shark Tank. That's what that means.
Yeah, it's out of my
That's
league.
okay.
I still don't understand.
That's okay.
But I appreciate that there's something.
That's way out there for you.
I dig it. Good.
All right.
Great. Awesome. I have no.
Can I try harder?
If you want to. Can you dumb it down for me, Doc?
Okay. I work in radio.
Yes.
Right? If you want to advertise on the radio station, you have to buy some media.
Okay.
That is a bunch of 30-second spots on this station, and this station, or whatever.
Okay.
You have essentially purchased media.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places to purchase media from, obviously. And Shark Tank is a very big show.
Yes.
So she makes the decision where to purchase media. But I want commercials over here. I want commercials over here.
So they're placing their ads during Shark Tank?
No. Shark Tank has to sell itself. Shark Tank has to say, tonight on Shark Tank.
Right.
Yeah, those are advertisements. They have to buy advertisements.
So they have like third parties that work remotely that go out and try to find people to sell these ads for?
No. It's all right. It's all right. We're past it now.
I tried. Can I try harder to understand?
No. Listen, I can explain it to you.
But you can't understand it for me.
I cannot understand it for you.
It's
okay.
I wish I wasn't so dumb about it.
Anyway,
I'll be honest.
I'm just saying, I got an in at Shark Tank, okay? That's the takeaway.
Then just say that.
I thought I did.
Sorry.
Maybe I tried too hard.
I'm not that smart.
Okay.
Since we're here talking about law books here, I got one more thing to talk about, but I need to get my screen.
Yeah, that's tricky. Having a phone, you cannot attach a camera to your bow. You can't do it. I think there would be an entire camera mount industry for bows and rifles if that were legal. So, but I think right there in the end of your fist, man. Perfect. Okay.
It seems silly.
Right. Well, let's try it. Let's try it. I'm going to clip this out and send it to Tony.
Please. And have him print 3. I mean 2.
At least 2.
At least 2. So looking in the reg book, trying to verify whether or not that was legal, kind of suspecting that it wasn't, but hoping.
I know. Hope on prayer, on pray on wish.
I was flipping through and I came across this, and it says areas closed to big game hunting. Now this is if you knew this and you told me, I just didn't remember.
Okay.
But you go out and you know that like national landmarks and state parks and all that, they're off limits.
Right.
Areas closed to big game hunting. Listen closely.
Okay.
All state parks are closed to hunting except, so you can go hunting in some of these parks. Farragut State Park, Farragut Wildlife Management Area, Billingsley Creek Unit of Thousand Springs State Park, Castle Rock State Park, and the City of Rocks National Reserve are open to hunting.
No way.
Right there.
Since when?
That's in the folder. It's right there.
Since when?
Reg book. That's from that reg book.
Since when?
So you didn't know that.
I did not. I thought it was off limits because we drove through there.
And we avoided it.
We drove past it, and there's people like, it looked like we were doing what other people were doing.
Yeah.
They were avoiding it too. Really?
It's in the reg book.
Oh, talk about picturesque hunting and camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
When we talked about changing where we need to go, not knowing where to go, there's a big area that
we know where to go.
Yeah.
We know where to go. Yeah, we do. That's awesome. That's really good news. Yeah. That sounds exciting. It's so picturesque. It's so beautiful. If you've never been, and I think every state has a city of rocks, and they're all as spectacular as Idaho's, I'm sure.
Correct.
But Idaho's is very spectacular. It's very
pretty
cool. Yeah.
From a distance, you see it coming, and it's like,
yeah.
What?
You can't imagine what it is until you get up to it.
Yeah.
But there are so many hiding spots for deer out there.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to climb to a spot, to a vantage point, and to be able to glass some of that city of rocks. Some big muleys out there.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest muleys you will ever see. I watch guys hunt the Frank Church. They fly into the Frank Church. They float the Middle Fork of the Salmon, and they're looking for muleys. They're talking heavy rut action.
Yeah.
They're talking about muleys in October.
Wow.
Yeah, not elk in September.
Yeah.
So, and they're pretty excited. That's some big country. God, that Frank Church is big country. Anyway.
So finally got my first lit knock.
Yeah. Congratulations. Congratulations. I can't wait till we lose our first lit knock.
I don't.
Then we'll be back to tell you what's up.
My hypothesis is I will lose fewer arrows.
Oh, yeah. My hypothesis is you will spend at least 10 hours fewer every year looking for lost arrows.
Yes.
Now, that's going to save a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
The screamer that came around when I was all shaking and we were at the different ends of the Elk Ridge. And that 5-point came around.
Yeah.
I would have seen exactly where that arrow went. It was the way the light was, and I even think with the spike that came out that I lost that other arrow.
Oh yeah.
I think I would have had a better idea of where it went down.
Yeah.
We heard it, but it's you lose sight of it.
Stuck in a tree somewhere. It's definitely in wood.
I wonder if I can't help but wonder if I ricocheted off the back of that thing and it went up into a tree. Because
we can only hope.
We have scoured.
We can only hope.
I can't help but look every time in both places if I'm near there. It's a weird thing, but I'm cautiously optimistic that having a lit knock will just make the guesswork go away.
Yeah, of finding that arrow, of understanding where it went. I mean, I lost an arrow for a day, actually not even a day, about 12 hours.
Yeah,
this last season, and I don't know if it would have helped me sleep any better. Knowing that I knew where my arrow was, but
oh, that's right. When we finally came around, I was ready to give up on. And you're like, oh, here it's right here.
Yeah, you were giving me a hard time, like I planted it, like there was never really elk there.
That was,
I know.
Just a little brotherly elbowing right there.
I had video on my phone, didn't I? I had video on my phone. Okay, that's right, and I knew I did. So your elbow was well felt. It was good. It was good. Like, did you bench today?
Right. I'm glad you went there. That's exactly what that is.
Exactly what that was. I know. How's your bench? All right.
So, we talked about the gear in the mag view. You talked about that.
Yeah. The mag view. That was it. That was. The mag view thing was all about. I don't know if it was the same exact product, but it was the same idea of your phone using the camera. To visualize what your binoculars are magnifying.
Yeah.
So, but it's just a real quick, because the way they make those magnets, it centers it perfect every time. You don't have to carefully set and adjust and wait.
Okay.
You just slap it on there and those magnets just know and slap right too. So it's a pretty cool system. For binoculars and spotting scopes, I would imagine you can't use it on your bow, but okay.
Yeah. You want to talk bears?
I love talking bears, man.
I came across this story just today, and it just looks goofy. I feel bad, though, because it's a parasitic infection, mange.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay? It makes the hair thin. But this bear...
You're just laughing at this poor bear.
I know. I don't know if you can see it from over there.
I can't hand it to me so I can have a giggle, too.
It's a black bear.
Oh, that's sad. You just laugh at it. It looks like a starving wildebeest.
It looks like one of those dogs from Willow, the movie in the 1980s.
It looks like a chupacabra.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
If you saw that, you'd be like, chupacabra.
The poor thing.
That's a bummer.
But we talk a lot about all big game, all kinds of things related to outdoors, nature, things like that. Grizzly bears, bar none, I think have come up a lot in the last like 6 to 8 months. I think.
Yeah.
They've just been in the news a lot. So it came up again, and I know that you brought in a story, but the story that I brought has to do
better than the one I got.
Well, but they both land in the same state, so they're connected.
Great.
Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks have released a draft of administrative rules to manage grizzlies if they're delisted. Now, when I read the article, the only extra that I'll add to this when I read this article was just that they're just planning in case of... wow, my thought went away. I already said that. But there was something else that.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I had it.
Well, they need something in place, right? If the grizzly bears are delisted,
right. They're just being proactive,
and it's only a matter of time before they're delisted. It's only a matter of time, and if you're not going to hunt them, then fine, let's send them to California.
Yeah.
For real.
They need some bears there.
100%. Okay.
I wish I could remember the other point. But anyway, not a big deal. Speaking of the need to delist them, look, you've got 3 grizzly bears that ran through somebody's yard in Montana. Montana. And I'm just like, I don't want to be mowing my lawn.
Yeah, and it's not somebody's yard out in the country. That's a subdivision.
Yeah.
That's a subdivision. There's a neighbor's fences too.
Yeah.
Those are neighbors all around. Yeah.
There's 4 of them, man.
Yeah. 4 grizzlies.
4 grizzlies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ulm is just south of Great Falls. Great Falls is home
Louise.
to the only Air Force base in Montana.
It's 5 inches wide on one of those paws they have there. Whew.
Yeah. That's an Eggo waffle, man.
Yeah.
That's a Belgian waffle.
And if those bears are running from east to west, they're headed towards the Idaho Panhandle. And out of Idaho's Panhandle comes a story about keeping your e-bikes off the trails.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's what.
Are we ready to go there?
We don't have to. I just was.
Okay. There were some more bear stories. There was a couple more bear stories.
Where's there?
A couple of bear mummies.
Oh, duh! I'm so sorry. You're right.
That's okay. That's okay. I just thought if we could keep the themes on bears, I really like the cave bear
and this really cute Larson cartoon.
Yeah, from way back.
It's got a deer gut. Anyway,
yeah.
So I'm so sorry. I totally forgot that there was those two bear stories. I just was like, hey, I could segue if they're running from east. It was a dumb segue anyway. Two different bear stories that are prehistoric, really. You're talking about
definitely
the youngest one is 3,500 years old.
Yeah.
Preserved in permafrost in Siberia. This was just they call it was this the cave bear or was this the brown bear?
I think it was the brown bear. I think the 35,000 years will be because the cave bear were extinct about 10,000 years ago.
And so a cave bear they found was 39,000.
Yeah,
estimated to be. So that's quite old. But it's like you look at that image and it's like, my goodness, just like perfectly preserved.
Yeah,
and you just wonder, I don't know, could we bring you back to life? Could we Jurassic Park these things? You know.
And there's more evidence on that this week.
Is there
that we could? Yeah. Somebody actually, some TikToker I follow, talking about how AI can replace missing gene segments better than filling in the blank from a reptile.
Huh.
And that because humans see reproduction as sex between two individuals.
Yeah.
And that's all we can really think about.
Right.
But we're really
there's more to it than
there's
that.
so much more to it than that. So it talked about how some of these genetics from alligators, how an alligator crocodile who was all alone in an enclosure, gave birth.
That was just
to fertile eggs.
Ago.
Gave birth to fertile eggs. Who laid some fertile eggs. Anyways, interesting. It was just an interesting aside. But some of these creatures I would not be surprised to see in a zoo or to see somewhere.
Yeah.
In the next 30 years.
Really hoping on that mammoth they uncovered in 2000.
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
23 years ago, they pulled that mammoth out that was fully preserved.
Where at? Where was that? Was that American Falls?
No, that was in Siberia or northern Alaska.
Okay.
I mean, it was Discovery Channel had a big old.
Well, they found one in American Falls.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In the very recent history, in the past 10 years.
I think I remember that.
But it wasn't. I don't think it was as preserved.
Yeah,
they have one at CSI. They have a replica.
Yeah,
but it's huge.
Yeah,
it's so big. You can't even. And this cave bear.
Yeah.
Does it give the dimensions on there? The
doesn't.
Cave bears were so big.
It doesn't.
They were so big. I read a book called The Mummy Congress. Now, if that doesn't pique your interest, I don't know what would. What kind of geek you got to be to read a book called The Mummy Congress? I found it at the Twin Falls Public Library.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, this is so great. I just have to read. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have to read this. There was a reporter for National Geographic.
Okay.
She was sent to cover the World Mummy Congress. There is a World Mummy Congress. There are mummy experts from 100 different countries that get together and talk about all the crazy things going on with mummies.
Okay.
And so she's like, I cannot believe how many different cultures had mummification processes.
Yeah.
Not just the Egyptians, but they were all over the world. And she talked about all these mummification processes. And then she said she got to go to a special to see somebody in Egypt. And they take her, because I saw a headline the other day, Egypt's almost out of mummies. Right? And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was like the dumbest headline ever. But she's like, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm with National Geographic. I'm writing a book. It's on mummies. Oh, the guy's like, this guy from Egypt's like, oh yeah, come on here. I'll show you. So he goes and he shows her these rooms, and these rooms are full of mummies. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally just wrapped up in rags, just stacked high. Yeah. He's like, these are crappy ones. These are crappy ones. Let's go find a nice mummy to open. right? He's going to open a mummy just for her, a private.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a private mummy opening. Now, it used to be a thing back in the Victorian area. You could order a mummy and open it at your house for your friends. They didn't have cable. They didn't have internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is real. This is real. Anyway,
I want the Amazon of that era.
they would get together. They would all open up mummies. Anyways, crazy stuff going on.
It's got a foul stench.
But I love the stories of mummy tells and getting a mummy naturally like this, getting something mummified is really, really cool. So both of these bears are going to have lots of stories to tell. Just like Otts. Was it Otts? The 12,000-year-old.
The guy up in
he's still. That story is so detailed.
The Iceman?
Yeah.
That was the
Iceman bow hunter.
It was a weekly reader in my grade school.
Killed. Yeah, in grade school.
That I remember getting that.
Now that's a novel.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Oh, they knew what he ate at different hours before his death.
Yeah.
It's amazing story. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know it doesn't have a whole lot to do other than bringing it back to a guy who was shot with an arrow and he was hunting with arrows.
And maybe he shot a bear one time.
I'm sure he did. He was in his 40s. He was pretty stocky.
Probably in self-defense, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of self-defense, there's another bear story I forgot to get to.
Is it really?
And it has to do with buffalo defending.
Oh, that's right. I read about this. Yeah.
From a grizzly bear.
Yeah. Not uncommon. Not uncommon. No. Yeah.
So
protection of the species and the selfish herd and all that magic stuff happens. It's incredible.
So I jumped the gun trying to segue up to the gear talk. You know what though?
That's all right.
We're talking prehistoric.
Yeah.
And so the Anunnaki, there's an Anunnaki story you posted in here. And so archival records state that this individual is a possible female basket maker mummy found in a cave in Colorado River Canyon.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A mummy
with hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that?
3,500 years old. Is that right? Or is that the bear?
The bear was 35.
Oh.
This doesn't have a date.
More information on this to come, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because this is in a cave in Colorado.
And I'm 2 doors down from my resident anthropologist at CSI.
Yeah.
And I talked to her about this. In fact,
Okay.
So I told her about Tough Trip Through Paradise, that book I talked to you about. I was in her office one day. I was like, "Oh, you've read Tough Trip Through Paradise?" And she looks at me like,
"You dummy! You told me about it."
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. I totally forgot.
Oh yeah, good for me.
Yeah, yay.
Well, I'll have to tell you about another book I read after I read it, of course. I mean, I got to read it first.
So, looks like we are down to the last couple. We can talk about awesome deer or keep your bike off the trail.
So let's talk. You know, we've talked about antlered does before.
Yeah, we have.
And because it's when the young kids bring it up, right? And the reg book doesn't say you have a doe tag, you have a buck tag.
Antlered or antlerless.
You have an antler or an antlerless tag. Yeah. And so a lot of especially the young kids, and I know you guys just went through hunter safety.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are pretty sure all bucks have antlers.
Yeah.
All does don't.
Yeah.
And so
I've even run into some adults like that.
Yes. Yeah. But sometimes it happens. And what is this? This is it's actually a website. I think if you follow it.
Outdoor Life.
Outdoor. Oh, yeah.
In fact, I've enjoyed a lot of articles from them. I'm actually considering dropping the $12 for a year subscription.
Yeah.
So, Outdoor Life does a lot of great.
If you do that,
stuff.
you'll get the magazine for 4 years. You only pay for one. You get it for 4 years, and then they just send you overdue notices for 3 years. Right. I'm kidding. It is a great magazine. I don't know which one Pat McManus wrote for. I think it was Outdoor Life. Maybe it was Field and Stream.
On a side note, would you be interested in going in with me on a Columbia Records subscription?
I can get 12 CDs for a penny.
Anyway, no, it's an amazing looking doe. Sorry,
right?
It's antlered animal. Jeez Louise, that's impressive.
Yeah, a 200-inch, which is a lot.
Great. I'm
glad
you clarified what that means.
Well, does it look like a big buck?
Looks like a big buck.
Yeah, but it's a big doe.
Yeah,
it's a big
whitetail, isn't it?
doe.
That's a whitetail.
Probably. A lot of those anomaly ones are going to be.
Yeah, you can see her whitetail right there.
Oh, okay.
Not that you. Not that it really mattered.
Thanks for zooming in on that for me. Yeah. Look at that whitetail.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure she's a girl.
I actually keep flipping back and forth on these things. I feel out of place since I broke my iPad.
It's all right.
And anyway, so there's another story, and it has to do with the Yellowstone.
Yellowstone
River. And this has been unfolding for a while. I actually read, part of your phone is covering up some of this, but I read a headline the other day that they were sending scuba divers to assess, how to pull some train cars out of this derailment it was a bridge collapse.
Yeah.
With some toxic chemicals. And Yellowstone River can't catch a break. It's an amazing river.
Yeah.
How many years ago was it? They had the oil rupture. They had an oil pipeline.
It was like 12, 13 years ago, and they're still cleaning it up. They're still cleaning it up. And the Yellowstone
devastating.
Is like one of the only undammed rivers.
Yeah.
In America. It is just one of the most pristine. Yeah.
It's closed for boating or floating.
Yeah.
Right now, that part of it.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, it's tough, Things like the show Yellowstone. Just like a river runs through it.
Yeah.
Did so many wonderful and bad things for Montana and tourism.
Yeah.
So has Yellowstone. And a lot of people, they really get caught up in that show.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. It's great. I'm glad you like the show, but people get really into it, and they want to live in Montana. They want to be a Montana. They want to live on, they want to live out west, in wide open spaces. And they're finding, and this is great. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. Airbnbs have fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Really bad, which is great.
Yes, good news for hotels and motels.
Well, it's good news for people who actually want to buy a house.
Yeah, that too.
Because if you can rent it to super rich people for 2 months out of the year and make more money than renting it to a poor person all year, that's what you're going to do. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was causing part of a problem, and that was on a much broader scale, not related to elk season or anything. And then what was I talking about? Where am I today?
Yellowstone and people getting into it.
Oh yeah, Yellowstone. So all these people that are really into Yellowstone, they think that you watch Yellowstone, you think you know what it takes to live out here, you think you know what you want, you think you know what you're going to get when you come out here, and it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
what's it? Rip's nowhere to be found. There's no Rip.
I don't know what that means.
Rip is a character.
I was wondering.
He's the hunky character who, can I get you some water? As long as it's frozen and covered in whiskey. No, he's I made that line up. But he's this rugged cowboy with all this, facial hair, and he's got a toothpick, and he takes people to the train station. The train station is where they go to kill people. It's called the train station. Anyways, it's a terrible show, in my expert medical opinion.
Have you ever watched it? I've never watched it.
I tried. Yeah. It's not Game of Thrones out west. It's not that. It's not. You're hoping for that. It's not that.
All right.
They're not that good at storytelling.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I'm picky though. I'm an old man. It's not made for me.
Okay.
It's made for women. Television's made for women. 100%. Okay. The money demographic is women aged 25 to 54. That all, 90% of all money spent in every household is spent by the woman. The woman who is aged 25 to 54.
Did you say every household?
I'm saying the average household.
Oh, average house. Sorry,
I was just average thinking, American household. Yeah,
I was like, because that's not the way this is.
Right, of course not.
In my house, I'm a spender.
Yeah,
I break the mold.
Well,
so it's the show for me.
It's just this. it's just the statistics. If you're watching a show like on my, so I got a smoker. I don't want to call it a Traeger. What do you call it? It's a pellet stove.
Pellet stove.
A
pellet grill smoker.
A pellet smoker. I got a smoker. And so that puts me in a certain demographic of men.
Welcome.
I've
been here for many years, my friend.
Right? You're now a smoker. So now you do a couple other things and you're like, well, I better look up some hemorrhoid medicine. And pretty soon you're seeing advertisements for, hormone replacement. I need testosterone for some reason. Lots of testosterone.
Eugenics.
Yeah. Whoa, do not go there.
Nugenics.
Oh,
That's what I said. Nugenics, not eugenics.
Oh,
but
geez.
When I see that commercial, I think the same thing. I'm like, wait. Oh, there's an N. Got it.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds creepy when you say it like
Yeah.
that. Wow.
Yeah.
So I see things come across my feed and I go, well, all right. And you watch Yellowstone.
Okay.
See what commercials play, and you
All right.
know that was intended for that audience,
Okay.
right? So when you see things for a 3-wheel motorcycle called a Spider, it's got those 2 up front and the 1 in the back.
Yeah. Got it.
That's made for women over 70, and only women over 70. Anyway, but if you have one, it's cool. There was this guy, we were in Vegas, me and my wife were in Vegas, and we pull up to this stoplight, and some guy pulls up on us next on a Spider, a young guy too, on a Spider, and he is cranking some music.
Nice. Hey, man, living it up.
And I reach over and I push my wife's window down.
That's awesome.
She's like, stop. Anyway, just good
Windows
times.
are locked. Sorry.
Just good time scaring the wife in the big city.
Oh, goodness. Speaking of stuff that people have and shouldn't have,
Yeah.
there's a good segue.
I'm very concerned about this. I don't know why. I'm such a
So it's here where I live, where we're recording. We're near
Yeah.
the Snake River Canyon. I take my boys on our bikes all the time.
Yeah.
Our man-powered, non-electric bikes.
they're just bicycles.
They're just bicycles.
That's it.
And
That's what they are.
I feel like it's an important piece for development to have that physical interaction with a bike.
I agree.
As long as you can. I'm not saying e-bikes don't have their place, but you'll see in this neighborhood, most of the kids are riding e-bikes.
Yeah.
It's I'm not sure how to compartmentalize that change. Not that I'm not accepting of it, because it's like, get off your bike and go get a real bike.
Right,
No, it's not
right.
that. I'm not going to be,
You're right.
get off my bike. It's not
Right. Swear to me.
right. But you go on the trail. We have the Canyon Trail, and we see, there's bike rentals, and so you'll see people. Which I think in that context, people who don't have much time but they want to get on the trail, they want to see the canyon.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense in a tour.
It does.
And
It
I'm not
does.
saying that nobody can buy these things and ride them, but there is a place for them. There are some places I disagree with, like the kids in the neighborhood. Do they really need it?
Yeah. So here's the line. Here's the line.
And this is where we're going with
Okay.
this.
Go ahead.
Right. And I think I'm just going to
Yeah,
set
yeah.
you up to take it, right?
Yeah.
Just because it's a bike, and it has pedals,
Right.
doesn't mean you should be treating it like that everywhere. Now, you can ride around your bike in my neighborhood. You can ride on certain trail, like the Canyon Rim Trail here.
Right.
But when I'm out in the woods on a place where mountain bikes are allowed, I shouldn't be seeing you riding a mountain bike that has electronic assist on it.
Right.
Because that's
Right.
a motorized vehicle.
Right.
I probably took your thunder.
For me, the line is when is a bike a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Right? When is a bike a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Can I ride a motorcycle on the Canyon Rim Trail?
That's a good point.
I don't think I can.
Yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way.
It's just a motorcycle. I saw a guy, those little mini bikes. They're like short and fat. They got fat seats.
Well, there is a
Okay.
caveat in the DMV.
Oh, what? Really?
So I doubt they've changed it. So now I don't know how it converts to EVs, but I know that you don't have to have a motorcycle license.
Okay.
Well, and I don't know how this relates to trails. I'm just saying there's something I think with
Right.
the DMV that I might want to go double check.
Okay.
Because it's like 30 cc's or left of an engine changes the dynamics of whether or not
Okay.
you need license.
Okay.
So there's
that's why you see him. So I saw a guy. Now, it is illegal. It is against the law to ride your bicycle on the sidewalk. Most people don't know that.
and I know that, but I do it.
Of
but
course,
I'm conscious of
it. Of course, I do it, and I'm conscious of it too, and I do it. But when I do it with my children, when we cross the street, we do it on foot, right? If you're on a bike, you have to follow all the same laws as a motorcycle. I watched a guy on a mini bike, just right up here on Pole Line Road,
Yeah.
riding on the sidewalk, riding all the way up to the crosswalk and pushing the button for the crosswalk so he can ride his motorized mini bike across the crosswalk. Okay, that's interesting that a DMV makes the delineation at
In terms of licensure.
at certain CCs, right?
But
as laws go, It's still a motorcycle.
Yeah. So I don't.
And how do you classify? You're right. How do you classify electric bikes?
Yeah.
They don't have CCs.
Right. So there's something here that needs to be updated.
Yeah.
So I think now that we've talked about it out loud, my phone has heard it and it'll probably give me some feeds.
My good friends, my really good friends, Pert's bicycle rentals.
Okay.
They go to the gym.
Those are the downtown folks? No. Never mind.
Andrew's his name. Andrew Pertula. I think I forget. I don't know.
Mind.
He's such a nice guy, and his wife's really cool. And he was coming out of the gym. I told you on bench day. Wednesday on bench day.
All right.
He comes out. I go, Andrew, what'd you do? He goes, I got 195. I'm like, all right, I got to be 195. And I went in. I got 195. Anyway, so Andrew, and he runs these bike rentals, and he brought some in. You ever ride one of those?
Not yet.
Oh,
I want to ride one. Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't hate them.
Oh, no. It's a problem. It's a
Oh,
problem.
you think? Oh, so I thought your reaction was different.
It's so great. They're so fun. They are so fun. But just like when I say, if the only price you have to pay to access wilderness is an actual price, just pay the money and you can experience it. That's unfair, right?
Yeah.
You want to climb to a mountain, or do you want to be on top of it?
Yeah.
That's the difference. And a bicycle, I want to climb the mountain. I don't want to just be on top of it, right? I could get a helicopter to take me to the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
So that's the difference to me. I want to be it. That's why I bow hunt. The energy my energy went into that arrow that killed that animal.
Yeah.
Not a chemical reaction, right? A chemical reaction is what got me to the trailhead of my car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And a few chemical reactions inside my body, of course, to hike me up the trail. But you understand what I'm saying? That was me. That was my energy that killed that elk. And that rides a bike and that climbs a mountain. So people go out and get on these e-bikes and have really great adventures, and I'm jealous, and I'm a little heartbroken.
Yeah, it's a conflict.
Yeah, I don't think they're paying enough of a price to be on top of a mountain.
Sure.
I think there's more of a price you should pay. Anyways, that's all I need to say.
All right. I don't disagree with any of that. My response in my way is I'm trying to understand. So I see the kids around in the neighborhood, and I see the people on the trails, but I do get more concerned because the article that we actually haven't even addressed the article. It's, Idaho's taking time to remind people that they're, because it is a motorized vehicle, you should not be taking your e-bike on certain trails.
Right. And we'll be seeing more and more of these stories, more and more and more. Cause there's a certain percentage of bikes that are sold now are e-bikes.
Yeah.
And that percentage is growing.
It's not going to get smaller.
So like we had when the automobile was invented, kids stopped tending to horses.
Yeah.
No kid knows how to tend a horse anymore. It is deplorable. It's bad. No kid knows how to tend a horse. Is it? Right? That's the argument that's made. No kid knows how to tend a horse because all you have is cars.
And so here I am saying no kid knows how to ride a bike.
No kid knows how to really pedal. No kid really knows how to put their energy in it but that e-bike did give us some advances on the other side. So I do see that side of the coin. Don't get me wrong. And I wish I was the only one to access that side of the coin.
And I do have, I think, a silver lining for how I'll feel about this is somewhere one of these kids is going to be on their e-bike, and this might even happen to me, but somewhere somebody's going to be on their e-bike. They're going to take it, and it's going to die, and all they're going to have left is the pedals. And the next day, their legs are going to hurt.
Yeah.
There you go. So they will know, and they will never let that thing run out of juice again.
They're going to I need a new e-bike. I had to leave mine in the forest. There's no way I'm pushing that thing home. Yeah. Do they have regenerative braking? I guess.
I don't know. I would imagine that there are some brands. Not. The higher the price you pay, the more likely you'll have something like that. And
I'm sure they exist.
That's a frustrating reality to live in this particular kind of world, is that I just want something functional, but then it's like, oh, if you only have this many more thousands of dollars, you can have it all. And it's like,
well, you've heard of a planned obsolescence, right? Right. We know that a car is going to have parts that break because the parts guy needs to sell parts.
Yeah.
That's planned obsolescence. Perceived obsolescence is what marketing does to us. Perceived. Whatever crap you have, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not. That's just perceived obsolescence. It's not obsolete. In some cases, I'll give you, for instance, my wife and I go on vacation and we have luggage with leashes. It has 4 wheels on the bottom and you like pull this leash. It's so old. Everybody else has those nice hard rubber. They got the telescoping handle and they're rolling it around. And we are pulling these things with a leash because we've never traveled together. We've never, and we're like, oh my God.
Beautiful.
It was so embarrassing. And then we get home and I see a homeless guy with nicer luggage than we have. And I call my wife. I go, I just want you to know, a bum has a better luggage than we do. Anyways, we
have new luggage now?
We sprung for new luggage. Well, it was so traumatizing, so embarrassing. If you would have seen it.
I want to
try to hold this leash, and there's no other way to do it.
I will be watching for this video to show up on the YouTube video clip shows I watch. Check out this family going through the airport.
Oh yeah, where are they from? Hey, 1982, maybe. Anyway, so that was that story. Do we have anything else? We got through everything. All right, good for us. All right.
Bravo.
61 days until elk season. Don't skip leg day. Get out there, walk, ride a bike, do anything, do something.
Yard work
every day until elk season.
Have a happy 4th of July.
Be safe.
Stay awesome.